We'll see. We're live again. Welcome back, everybody. So glad for you all to be here a second time. Your boy has gone through, for anybody just joining, just so many problems. And honestly, this is probably going to cut out at some point, just like it just did. So I just want everybody to be ready for that.
We're just rolling.
We're just rolling. You know what? Doesn't matter. Just hanging out with you. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a little fun. Yeah, I think all in all, for me, looks like we got some people coming in. Good to see. All right, let's go. Welcome back.
Apologies all around.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Lions live stream if everything didn't go wrong. So
yeah, fine. We're in a rebuild. We're figuring out the stream again.
Yeah, we're in a rebuild, boy. We're in a rebuild. You know what? I haven't even gotten to ask you, man. How'd you feel about? I mean, we haven't talked about it, but the Bills and everything
which is the correct length of time probably to talk about it.
Because I remember, when it happened, talking to Bobby, I felt like Brutus stabbing him in the back.
I jumped during the Chiefs game, the last imminent moments. I jumped on him and knocked him to the ground, and I said, "We are going to the mother effing Super Bowl." Which pride comes before the fall, but
amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I was guessing we would have done a squib kick and maybe not prevent defense. So I thought it was a sure thing.
Oh my God, the whole world.
Yeah. No, actually, I mean, our special teams coordinator is no longer there. So I think he's taking kind of the brunt of that decision. The team, they re-signed Saran Neal. He said in his interview this week that they keep what went down in house and they're not speaking about it outside, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
And Bean basically said what went down was not what was called. Was kind of how he kind of alluded to. So It was a bummer. But heck, being a Bills fan, you can watch Josh Allen in that game. And you could say, you know what? Because last year we played, and I remember talking to your brother Bob, and we watched all the Bills games together. And I said, if it's a good game, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And last year's game was not. It was not a good game.
Yeah.
And this year I said I have a little bit more expectation this year just because of year progression. So, but I still said as long as it's a good game, at least like we can say you fought well, and I thought they did right up until that. I said there was a couple. Play call stuff. I'm very okay with Dable being in New York now. Well, sorry, New Jersey.
Got him.
But there was a lot of 2 and 10. Give Singletary the ball, even though you have Josh Allen. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a big brain offensive coordinator. So
sure,
he's a lot more successful in life than me. So gotta trust him.
Yeah. No, it was hard, man.
Yeah.
It was hard watching it. Like I'm sitting here watching with the boys and I couldn't believe it. Watching Allen is just unbelievable. And Gabriel Davis, his evolution has been outstanding.
When it was cool too, because he had a quiet-ish year, nothing crazy. But doing his normal toe drag swag, stuff like that. But it was really cool to see Stephon Diggs, the drama queen of the Vikings, do his post game interview, and they're talking, or maybe his postseason interview, and they talked to him. They said, how do you feel? Because he was low action. He said, he was like, if I can take away half the field, he's like, I'm okay. He's like, yeah, sure. Would I love to hit a bunch, get it in charge, a bunch of touchdowns? He's like, but Gabe Davis popped off, and maybe I'll let him say thank you.
Yeah. And what do you want? Do you want to win? Do you want to win the Super Bowl?
And that's what all their perspective is. So you can't be mad at the team, and you kind of just have to roll through. And heck, to be a Bills fan and to be even in the conversation is just a freak. I mean, you'll know.
Yeah,
you'll know.
Oh, dude. Listen. And first of all, everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. Thanks for finding your way through the storm to get to this second stream. Yes, Det Fan Man, you did find the second edition. Well done. All in all, when I look at the Lions, one of the weirdest things, and maybe in the chat people could also agree to it, I have noticed this overwhelming amount of the other 31 teams in the NFL like giving love to us. Maybe not Chicago, maybe not Minnesota, maybe not Green Bay, but
they have to. They have to not. They have to not.
They have to not. But everybody seems to be like, hey, I'm really excited for the Lions. I love Dan Campbell. I love your coaching staff. Like,
how do you not?
How do you not? How do you
the man
not?
says he's chewing kneecaps off. He wears a motorcycle or a freaking racing helmet to
yes.
a thing.
Yeah.
And the guy cried. I hated it. There was people that were like, when he cried on that one thing, they were like, oh, blah, blah. You're like, if you didn't watch any of the other ones, like, this is just showing he's an emotional man, not just an angry man.
Yeah,
you know?
No,
he's deep connected with himself, and I can get behind that.
Like, yes, like, absolutely.
Because he's huge, too, so it helps.
Well, it does help because, you see a huge dude crying. And, like, but the thing was, like, that day, man, when we lost that game, and I'm watching that post game, and he's just like, I want it so bad for these men because I see them every day, give it everything they got. And, like, we lost a lot of close ones. In that moment, man, I was like, you could. I don't care what happens to this team. You could be our coach forever.
Yeah. A couple of those close ones were definitely my fault because I put some money on the Lions, and if I bet on them, they're definitely gonna lose.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll stop betting on the Lions next year.
You only bet on us on the games that we should absolutely lose. Absolutely lose.
Yeah,
like Arizona.
Well, the nice thing about it though is that with Stafford gone, you guys still make every game like the most anxiety-ridden thing in the entire world.
100%. It is a roller coaster of emotion. And
it's you and the Ravens. You guys just like to give your fans heart attacks.
I hate the Dirty Birds. We played every bird team this year. I'm pretty sure we played.
Yeah, you were the bird squad this year.
Literally, Balti, Arizona, Philly, Atlanta, Seattle, and it feels like there's one more.
Cardinals,
Arizona. I can't think, but that's 5 of them, and I thought we played every bird team that there was. But Det fan, man, totally agree. As a Lions fan, living out of state, you know it, man. It's never been like this. People see the gear, and they go nuts, and everybody loves MCDC. Even what do we got here? Lion the Hopeful coming in. Everyone loves MCDC, even the players, and that's huge, dude. Dan, I don't know if you saw, we re-signed a fullback. His name is Jason Cabinda. Okay.
Cabinda, what a name.
Cabinda. Fullback, he had his first career touchdown against Arizona. He's such a good dude. God. But, like, he just talked about Dan Campbell, and he talked about this team and was like, he gets re-signed. It was the weirdest thing. And all the time I've been a Lions fan, I've never, ever heard anybody say, let's go get a Super Bowl. And, like, he was 100%, like, when he got re-signed, he's like, let's get a Super Bowl. And hearing those words come out of a Lions player's mouth, I was like, oh my God.
Well, even like Liner the Hopeful said, like, which is a new experience for us. You guys have not had like between ownership and coaching where you're like, you guys have the right guy. Yeah. Like this, people want to stay here. Yeah. Like mostly it's like they're like, they are screwing studs left and right. What are 100%. We gonna do? Like, 100%. If I end up being good, I don't even get anything for it. Like it's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, which is why
and that's the thing. It's like crazy.
And everybody hated Matt Patricia. You look at our locker room. He drove away Darius Slay. He literally traded away Darius Slay and Diggs for nothing. He was just like, you don't like me? You don't like the way I work? Get out. And just dismantled this team.
Realistically, you look at even Miami, that's kind of the situation. Like Brian Flores, but Matt Patricia's not necessarily a bad coach, but he's a very much my way or the highway type coach.
Yeah.
Brian Flores kind of ends up that way, and you can't do that with ownership. And ownership likes Tua for some reason, but you still have that, you have this issue, and like they were able to nip it in the bud and be like, we're going to take this out before, where Patricia's just like, buy, and everybody's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he didn't just prune the trees. He pulled them out of the ground and was like, we'll see how you do without water for a while, and everybody died.
Yeah, and I feel like that ends up being even like a thing between Patricia and MCDC where there's a balance of MCDC is able to create a culture.
Yes.
He's able to lead men, whereas Patricia is not. He's not creating the culture he wants. He's trying to just make life what he wants, right? Like he's not a leader of men. He might be a coach, but like you're able to get boys, it's not boys, are grown freaking men post college able to rally around you and back you up, even though you're preposterous because MCDC is.
Yeah.
Like you got a winner there.
100%.
I'm still pumped. You guys had your season you had. I'm still excited.
Yeah, so, and you know what? I think it was the best. I've never seen fans so excited after a 3-win season. right?
Dude, like, yeah, literally, I know my other buddy in Michigan, like, he's still excited about the Lions, and they've had like season tickets for like 20, 30 years or whatever.
Oh.
And they gave him up in the Patricia era.
No. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
He was just like, they just like too much, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And now he's like, shoot, I need these back. Like MCDC's taking us to the bowl. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't care how you're thinking, I'm down. Like, let's go.
100%, man. 100%. And it's weird because, like, you know, you and I were talking before we started the live stream, before we started the first live stream, mind you.
Yeah. Yes.
And just like the joy of you as a Bills fan having a quarterback. What is it like to watch a game and know that your QB has it handled?
I mean, it's absurd, and it's still I feel like this year solidified it, because he had glimpses ever since he started running where you were like, oh my gosh, this guy is an animal. Then last year we're like, what happened? Like, you are ridiculous. And then in the offseason you're like, well, like, it's the Bills, so like he has to recede and be trash next year, right? And then he comes out this year, and you know, people try to throw shade because there was some thrown games, but like, you know, when you're following a team, you know it better than, you know, we had like, I think we didn't have a solid similar O line till like week 15 or something. Like these are things that mesh stuff around or whatever, and like at no point was I ever, oh, let's go Mikey, sorry.
Yeah, no, I see that we got a super chat coming in a Detroit Lions free agency talk, dropping 10 bones. Mikey B, Barlow,
another Jersey boy. Yo, we got Ryan too.
Yeah, sorry, and we got a good friend.
I just got boys.
Jets Talk 24/7 Ryan. Actually, everybody, if you do not know about Jets Talk 24/7, go check out his YouTube channel. Best Jets YouTuber. Love this dude. Great guy. Highly recommend having him. And in fact, Ryan, probably going to have you on here because we're playing the jet skis this year.
Can I hop in there just to like
absolutely
a little bit at the jet? Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, but I mean, it's just, I mean, you know the Bills history as well as any person not a Bills fan.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a lot of pain for a lot of years, and a lot of guys that, you know, stink. And then you got them doing the draft, and they say Josh, and they pause, and the majority of the fandom Bills Mafia thinks that you want Rosen, and they say Allen, and people are like, what? And like, you know what? And that's why they're paid what they're paid, and that's why we sit on the TV and drink Labatt's. And so sit on the TV, sit on a couch and watch TV. So it's just an awesome thing to go, all right, like, you know what, our running back situation, we don't have a stud running back, even though, you know, bless ups, like Singletary was really showing up at the end of the year. But like, you know, we have pieces that have gaps, and you go, yeah, well, at least I know, and you know, I'm a homer, but I think we have the best gosh darn quarterback in the entire stinking league. And you know what, if it's not him, he's top three.
He's top three minimally.
Even though people think for some reason Burrow is better, which blows my mind. But anyway,
there's you know what's hard is a lot of fans can't help but look at players as a fan, rather subjective, rather than being able to take a step back and be like, and remembering that, hey, what if they wore a different uniform? Would you like do you just hate the Bills so much that as a Jets fan or as a Dolphins fan that you can't objectively say Josh Allen's top three, I'm going to rank Joe Burrow ahead of him? Like that's what I notice a lot. I hate to say it, Aaron Rodgers is a god out there. I hate him on the field.
Top three quarterback most of the time.
But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, Ford, the pain.
Ooh.
We had the overall number one defense in the league.
Great Ford. The Bills are the number one defense in the NFL. Are there
glaring holes that they got to sort out? Yes.
There were some problems, but what team doesn't?
Did they not show up at the Chiefs game where you wanted to? No, but neither did the Chiefs defense. It was a sling fest, and I loved it.
All right, let's see here. Ian Saunders.
Let's get some Lions talk.
Yeah, let's get some Lions talk in here. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. Ian, I thought you're supposed to be on a cruise ship somewhere, man. Anyways, I'm supposed to have you on. Yeah, you're working on a cruise ship, I think. I think that's what you said, right? Drop it in the chat. You don't have to if you don't want to.
He was in the draft. I remember him.
Yes, Ian Saunders. Good dude.
Profile pick.
Yes. Right before we get to Ian Saunders, who's the top 3 free agents in the chat, I do want to thank Lions Fan Pauly, LFP. Just going to hit the super chat real quick. Should the Lions sign DeMarcus Robinson if he is a free agent? No. I'm just going no. Listen, let's get into the free agency. I'll get into why. Basically, all in all, top 3 free agents that we keep this year, Ian, and everybody else. I'm glad we're getting into it. I wanted to kind of break it down by the positions. Because when you look at it, we got 2 quarterbacks as free agents, Tim Boyle and David Blau. Then we got our 3 wide receivers, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, Kaderil Hodge. And then you've got the rest of the offense being Terrell Crosby, the tackle, Matt Nelson, Evan Brown at center, and Will Holden. From there, when you look at the defense as a whole, we've got defensive ends Nick Williams, Charles Harris, Joel Heath. And then you got linebackers Jalen Reeves-Maybin, Alex Anzalone, Sean Dion Hamilton, Anthony Pittman. And we keep going down the list. You got Tracy Walker, Dean Marlowe, Bobby Price, CJ Moore, Jack Fox, a few other guys. But of all these people, my top 3 signings would be Josh Reynolds at wide receiver. I would go Jalen Reeves-Maybin at linebacker and Charles Harris at defensive end. And if you're wondering why out there, Josh Reynolds, now, Dan, I don't know if you saw, but halfway through the year, we brought in a wide receiver who was playing with Tennessee. His name is Josh Reynolds. Mm-hmm. He also played with L.A. back in the day when Goff was there, back in the day like 2 years ago.
He's sneaky good.
And he comes in halfway through the season, and immediately upon doing so, he elevates Goff's game. Josh Reynolds.
But that's also like,
go for it.
That's like, again, immediately like coaching and GM understanding of saying like, we got to get our dude a boy. Like, you know how we have random dudes on our practice squad that are from Wyoming.
Really?
Because they're like, Josh just needs a boy. And they're like, literally, just get him a dude that like at least he knows. Like they've worked their way into the lineup. They worked their way out over the last few years. But it's saying, you know what, maybe he's XYZ worse than this other candidate, but the QB's comfy with him. And Goff going into a new system, get him a dude.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that was so much of what they did. They were like, we got to get somebody who he has immediate chemistry with, because we lost 2 guys. Quintus Cephas, second year, breaks his collarbone in like game 3 or 5, somewhere around there. Terrell Williams went out game 1. So we lose wide receivers 1 and 2 like that.
Well, and your wide receiver 1 was gone before the season even started.
Was literally gone before the season started. So like, it was.
That's right.
It was an absolute S show, if I may abbreviate it. All in all, when I look at these 3 guys, you have Josh Reynolds, who immediately boosts his game, boosts Goff's game, boosts confidence, and it opened up so much room for Amon-Ra St. Brown, because all of a sudden the defense was like, oh my God, we got to cover this guy.
Yeah, and this dude who nobody was even talking about, it's like, it's
exactly. Oh, it was great. It was great. And I think Josh Reynolds just kind of offers his speed and his moves. All in all, great pickup. I think we should re-sign him. From there, Charles Harris, defensive end, had a year. He had an absolute year. When I look at him, he kind of reminds me of, I want to say, Shaq Lawson a little bit.
Yeah.
He's he's 2 years older than Shaq, but kind of reminds me of him, and he came up and had a good year. You guys had Shaq, right, for a couple years?
Yeah, a little bit before he was good. He was a miss. He was a miss for us. But I mean, that's the thing, is you do have to think, and I was actually thinking this, and Grade 4 said it was good. Lines are in a retool. Rebuild, retool, whatever word you want to like put it on. You can't be taking huge chunks of your salary. We were actually, or your cap. I was talking to Jay before the podcast, where our GM was spoken to on a podcast a couple years ago prior to Josh blowing up. And he's saying, we want to prepare to have to pay a quarterback, right? We want to have to prepare to pay these stud guys. If you're pulling in guys that are like, top 15 for their position contract wise in the you're just going to be spending all this money. You're not going to give yourself room to actually, because when you develop those guys out of the draft, because you guys have all those juicy draft picks every year. So
we got 10 picks this year, baby.
I wish. I mean, yeah, but yeah. So you got to be careful with that, because like, yeah, the stud dudes are awesome, but one guy isn't going to change the Lions.
Correct.
I mean, it'll change it, but it's not bringing you to the bowl.
It won't. And this is the problem, because like coming into this free agency period, we had $35 million in cap space, and you have all these people. Okay, so here's nothing asking, do we get a Devontae Adams type of guy? I'm with Dan. We don't spend any big money this year because it's the second year of a rebuild.
Those are the fun pickups, right? People are like, hey, what are the Bills going to do in free agency? And you're like, I'm hoping they rework deals.
100%.
I'm like, yeah, I was actually talking to your brother. I was like, yo, we need to get some like really good, not likely to be earned incentives going on this year. Cause like, I was like, we have some, like Cole Beasley scored 1 touchdown, give half his contract and 2 touchdown incentive, cut that out of the cart. The cap. Like, there's so many deals that should be redone just because we have no cap space. And that's it's kind of where you're going to end up. You guys have the cap space, doesn't mean run out and go spend
exactly.
Like, it's fun.
Exactly.
It's really cool to get Vontae Davis. Yeah.
But we can't yet because it's only the second year and we're still in that building out. And I think like so many people, here's a hard one. Tracy Walker, or people are saying, do we go out? He's a safety. Do we keep Tracy Walker, or do we go out and get Marcus Williams from New Orleans? And I'm like, my problem with going and getting Williams is you're looking at a $15 million price tag. I don't want to spend half my cap on him, especially when I see what Aaron Glenn, our defensive coordinator, was able to do with Tracy Walker in building him up. If we can get Tracy Walker for half that, I'm all in. I would rather that development in our own building.
Well, it's tough when you're spending 15 mil on 1/5 of your backfield, basically. Like, you got a lot of other people out there you got to pay.
Yeah, and this is what's hard, because like even Nick, you're coming in here, you say Williams is worth it. Williams is a phenomenal player. I agree with you. He's so good. My fear is the amount of money that we would pour into this one player. Now, I'll just call it for what it is, man. I trust Brad Holmes completely. I really do. And it's wild to be a Lions fan and trusting the front office. This is not. This is.
That's when you say, hey, how do you feel about knowing a quarterback? You're like, I'm still not sure. Like, like it's like, this is cool, but is it going to last? Or,
yeah. Yeah, I'm really worried about the draft night, dude. I am. And I didn't want to talk much about draft tonight, but like my worry is sitting there as we're all live streaming together and enjoying the evening and hearing a name that I did not anticipate. We needed Sewell last year. That was the right move.
Yep.
But
I was excited for you.
Yeah. And you know what? Sewell is one of the top rookies of the year. I think top 20. He was in the top
stud.
20. He's a stud. He's a stud. He was phenomenal. And I'm just like, I am so worried that I'm going to hear a name called that I'm like, what just happened? Yeah, and that's where Gray Ford, is Allen Robinson worth it? No, I don't think so. I would have
a lot of receivers.
And I would have taken Allen Robinson last year. I was all aboard the train. And then this last year, he gets COVID. He's kind of down and out. He doesn't perform well. Now, granted, there was no real QB in Chicago. Justin Fields was kind of getting his feet wet, and he just had a very underproductive year. And I was interested in him last year. This year, after what I saw, I don't want to chance it. I don't think it's worth 14 mil. I've
seen DJ Chark a bunch. Honestly, if his price was right, he is a lion.
Yeah,
he is. It just makes sense. Like, he's built like a lion. Like, this dude would just getting a big body guy in there to make some space, and for Goff to have another target. Like, but the price would have to be right. Obviously, I don't know what his current
the price tag is. Yeah, check Sport Track for me. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and I really think that the Lions are very close Det Fan Man likes it. Built like a lion. I like that. Yeah, I think the Lions are pretty close to playoffs. I really do. I think this next year we are going to be on the cusp of wild card, and we're going to just miss it. I think we're going to just miss it. And then the following year, we win the North.
11.9.
Hey, Steve-O, just want to let you know, not going to be mad if we take a player that I don't want. I think I'm going to be, it's more over, it's kind of, that's my fear, is sitting there and being like,
the fuck?
Yeah, like,
I didn't expect
streaming
it and being like, I have to talk about this.
Yeah. How do I feel now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest fear, is just being like, oh my God, I don't know how I actually feel about this, just because I want to take that time to process it and really think about it. Where last year I was like, Sewell's a lock. Yeah, and also this is a Gray Ford. I don't know. You're coming in with all the deets. This is a good one. Allen has been the equal. Allen Robinson, I believe you're talking about, to Galladay. I agree. He is Kenny Galladay. I mean, he's just kind of, it was like that year. Kenny Galladay was Garbo out in New York.
I mean, when he played.
Yeah. Got him. Absolutely. Xander Shea. Oh, sorry. Go for it. You got the price tag?
No, to say market value, he's 11.9. He's comparable to Curtis Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Corey Davis, Sterling Shepard.
Okay.
Corey Davis fetching.
I like Corey Davis.
Fetching a higher value, 12.5, and he's 26. Interesting.
I mean,
he is a light spot in a dark space a lot of time in the Jets. Like he's good. He's thinking good. He's like one of those guys when you watch even the Bills play the Jets, you're like, ooh. You're like,
interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, they have a lot of good. Like their wide receivers. Once Zach Taylor gets going, it's going to be scary. Like, really, they really do.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. I think Xander Shea, to answer you, I think we have Jamal Williams for another year. He has a 2-year contract, so he will be back this season. I didn't buy a jersey for nothing. And then you know what? A lot of people, and I'm just going to say this. I don't know if you watched when Calvin Johnson came back to receive, I think it was some sort of honor for making it into the Hall of Fame at Ford Field this year. I forget what it was specifically, but Sheila Ford got up to talk and the entire crowd booed her, and I was really bummed. I was really bummed about it, because I think the hard part is everybody's just I think PTSD from the years of past of her mom, of the dad, of everybody, the Fords owning this team. But the big difference that I'm so bummed listening to people is Sheila cares about winning.
Yeah.
She wants to win. I mean, that's huge.
And even I think Ford in Michigan, just the name itself also has like its own difficulties on top of that. So like it's hard. She's getting the rat. Like she's her own person. Like she needs to be able to experience and give her a shot. She can mess up her own biz, and that's fine. If she messes up, then you can boo her. But like,
yes,
you gotta give her a shot.
Gotta give her a shot. And she brought in Brad Holmes, who was a slam dunk 6 out of 7 draft picks. I mean, I would even go 7 out of 7, maybe, because we didn't really see Jamar Jefferson that much. So we'll call for what it is.
Better than Brandon Bean so far.
Well, you got Josh
some
Allen.
misses. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and Joseph, I didn't think you were saying anything bad. I definitely could tell you were saying, a good thing about her. I agree with you. I love Sheila, and I think Sheila gives a flying horse's buttocks about this team and wants to win. And so that's where there's some joy in knowing that, like, I'm rooting for her. I hope that this works out for me, but for her, for the Ford name.
I mean, having some consistency of like owners that you care about and are actually care about the team. That's how you build a team. Like it has to come down from the top down. Like when you listen to even the GM talk about the Pagulas.
Yeah.
Brandon Bean's like, yep, they came in, they spent the money, they rebuilt and built out their whole new training facility. They got all the people they need. They gave us the facility and the stuff that we need to win. And like, now they're trying to do the taxpayers dollar for a stadium, but whatever. But, but still, like, you got to have longevity in that, or else there's kind of dissension comes from the top.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it can come from the bottom too, but like, you know, if it comes from the bottom, you cut the player. If it comes from the top, you're screwed, and you
You're
have
screwed.
a life like you guys have had for a long time. You know.
Oh, got him. Yeah, yeah. It's weird.
No, that wasn't even meant. It's just what it was. And
It's
it's
just what it was. It's just what it's always been, man. There's so many Lions fans. I do feel terrible for when somebody's like, I've been a Lions fan for 60 years. And I'm like, I can't fathom 60 years. I might have to start fathoming it.
What medications are you on?
Yeah. What do you do to make it? Because
yeah.
it's hard. It is hard for sure.
I mean, you go through some of those Michigan winners with a losing Lions team. Oh no, man. God bless all y'all.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I mean, the Bills know it too. So.
Yeah. I was looking at weather in Jersey today, and I was so jealous. I was like, you guys get, it's like 45 degrees and sun for the next few days.
Yeah, next few days. We had no fun, no snow, just ice. We had 2 inches of ice today.
Oh,
this morning.
Yikes.
Hey, snow day though. That's what a snow day is here. You just can't drive.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God. Yeah. Let's see here. I think all in all, when looking at our list of guys, I think another individual. Here's something I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to get your take on, Dan, as a Bills fan. In the chat, I'm expecting much blow up from this. However, when I look at our quarterback room, it's Goff, it's Boyle, and it's Blau. I think we keep Blau as a backup. He's a great backup QB to just have in the room, have his eyes on it. He doesn't cost anything. I think he's a great option to have back there. Boyle, I was really excited about. Very excited about Boyle coming in. He was under Rodgers for 3 years. I thought this guy could be really good. His college career was terrible, but watching him preseason 2019 with the Packers, great quarterback. So there was a lot of excitement. And my guys already beat me to it. Briez, I want to talk about Mitch Trubisky. Because specifically, Trubisky is making $2.5 million with the Bills. That's what he made last year. Our backup, Boyle, who was god-awful in all 3 starts this year. Anytime he came in, he looked just so disheveled, was overthrowing, underthrowing, missing all his targets.
Yeah, it was not. I saw a couple. It was not fun.
It was the worst. And here I am.
Turn the TV off, get another beer type like situation.
Absolutely. I was like, I can't even watch this. It's so brutal.
Yeah.
Boyle made $2.5 million this year. So part of me started to wonder, Mitch Trubisky, the Lion Slayer himself, the king of the jungle, what if we were to bring him here to Detroit? How often did you see Trubisky play? Because I was talking to Bob a little bit about it. Bobby was saying that, Allen might come out and Trubisky would play a couple minutes, couple of a quarter, because you guys are blowing somebody. Not even? No, he would go out basically to kneel it. He'd pass it off and kneel it. I want to say he threw under a dozen passes the entire year, including preseason.
Okay. Which was unfortunate for him. There was a lot of due to the quarterback room in Buffalo. You had people sitting behind Barkley for a while. You have Fromm and Davis? No, why am I forgetting his name? I actually like him a lot. He basically he ends up being a like a QB coach almost. Like he goes over the plays with Allen and like processes through. And so Fromm went to Giants. And Webb, Davis Webb. Yeah, Fromm's over at the Giants. I think he ended up doing it in like, we didn't claim him. He went last year.
Holy cow.
But Davis Webb's hanging. So the only thing I could see is that Mitch, I would be surprised if Mitch leaves Buffalo for not a starting position.
Oh,
because I watched a lot of starters last year that he is much better than.
Agreed.
You look at the Bears, you look at
Danny Dimes,
Broncos, you look at Danny Dimes. Yeah, you look at these things.
He could go to Pittsburgh. There's no quarterback.
There's no quarterback in Bucks, like the chat's saying.
Indianapolis. I mean,
yeah, Indy officially said bye. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not officially, but unofficially, officially. Yeah. So I think unless he's getting a starting position, because realistically, he's not going to get hired as a backup anywhere that's a contender. And if you can go be a backup and get a ring, why the heck not? And I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills were willing to throw on a little more this year.
Keep him around.
Because with, you got a very physical quarterback. If Allen goes down, our team is so based off Allen that you have absolutely no chance. So like the backup is actually a priority to an extent. So I can see that. I would be surprised, and I would be curious. I think also I would be surprised from a Lions perspective to take Mitch in, because with who Mitch is and his time in the NFL and where he's at price wise and position wise, if you're bringing him in, you're probably bringing him for a QB competition.
Yeah, it's the Nick Foles versus Mitch Trubisky.
And if you're where you guys are at right now, and you're gonna give Goff any kind of, he doesn't scream to me the guy who's saying like, I need more motivation.
No, I
need to fight for my job. If you have somebody coming in, I feel like he's gonna take it as like, you don't believe in me, you want other options type thing. You know?
That's fair, because I mean that's what's tough is you bring in a competent enough QB, a backup in Buffalo who's better than way too many starters in the NFL. You bring him to Detroit, and all of a sudden, it could turn into the Mitch versus Foles, where every week Bears fans were probably kicking themselves,
killing them. Yeah, and if we're a few years down the line, and Mitch's a little older, and he's like, "Nah, I'm comfy coming in as a backup, and I want to make sure that like the younger guy. I mean, Goff's not a younger guy. Goff's an older dude. And I don't think like. And the problem is that like for you guys, Mitch, I think Mitch is an awesome person to have on anybody. Like I loved when they signed Mitch. I was so happy. I was like, that is like, and unfortunately, actually, the most time he played was probably the Lions preseason game.
yeah,
it was bad because I was like, I have to love Mitch now, but I don't want to. Like, it's always hard to watch him eat the Lions.
Yeah, that was terrible. I know. I was like, of course, Mitch Trubisky is gonna play the Lions in preseason, and we're gonna lose anyways. Honestly, I mean, if you guys keep him around, we're playing you this year. They might as well just throw him out on the field. He'll murder us.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see if the Bills have grown out of their, if we're winning, we want to make sure everybody knows that we won by 40 points thing. Because for some reason they decided I like it. It's fun to watch as a fan. The whole time you're like, please don't get hurt. Don't get hurt.
Yes, I agree. And this is where Ranjiv Roy, just giving it a roll, man. Boyle's serviceable. He's got a cannon, just needs to dial in the aim. You're absolutely right. He can really huck the ball. He's got a great arm
Seems
strength.
More mental.
Yes, and you could tell like he was out there and he was just shaky, man. Like he just had this attitude of like, oh my God, is this actually happening? He sat behind Rodgers for years, comes to Detroit, gets the opportunity, and kind of fell through for a little bit.
Also, it says Mitch is younger than Goff. I thought he was a little older, or a little younger. He said he's older.
He's 2 months older than Goff. Did they both
there
come
he is
in the same year?
I guess in the same year. I didn't know that.
I'm trying to remember. Goff was number 1 overall pick 2016, and then
unless they just came out of these different years, you could be everybody who thinks Joe Burrow is like super young, even though he's the same age because he stayed in college for 5 years.
Yeah. Dat Cookie Dough, my guy coming in. You're not a Goff believer or a hater, but I want to see him get a fair chance. He's been written off before we have a competent team. Hey, I'm with you, dude. Since the beginning, and I went on, Woodward Sports had me on their show, and they were like, hey, do you believe in Goff? And I said, people are going to come back in 2 years, and they're going to come back to this video, and they're going to make fun of me because I said, yeah, I believe in this dude. I was like,
I mean,
I do.
I believe in him because he freaking wants to be there.
Yeah.
Like he, he was in a fake LA team.
Oh God,
and then
don't even get me started.
Yeah, and he came out and Stafford looked like a sad sack for the last like XYZ year, which I get it. Like he had a tough go of it, but like whatever. Don't go to Cabo and get a trade.
Yeah, it was weird.
Mitch was number 2 in the 2017 draft.
2017 draft. Was he with Carson Wentz? Was that the same year?
He was 8 picks before Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Remember that one. Yeah, there it
10
is.
picks before Watson.
Thank God, because if Mahomes was in our division. Blah. Though you don't know how players develop, man. Like,
I mean, you don't. He got to sit behind Alex Smith for what, an entire year?
For an entire year.
Like Allen's first year sucked. You're like, he went in like
First of all, he went in with no O-line. Allen went in and just scrambled for his life, and he had no wide receivers. It was a shiesty
But he went
show.
to Wyoming, so he was used to it.
Yeah. And everybody was like, this kid can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
And then here he is a few years later.
And I mean, he openly was like, no, I couldn't. That's why I went out and learned.
That's why I went out and learned.
Goff looks stinking good a lot of the time. And he is working with not the best weapons in the world.
Like, there's almost no weapons wide receiver wise. Like it was game 8, 9 that what was it against Pittsburgh or the week after that? What's his name? Amon-Ra St. Brown started to pop off.
You're like, oh shoot, yeah, cool. We have another option.
We have an option at wide receiver because all we had was T.J. Hockenson. T.J. Hockenson was getting the rock thrown to him over and over again, and then he obviously breaks his thumb. He has to get thumb surgery, and then we're screwed.
Dead fan, man, but Goff looks stinking other times too. Yeah,
he does. You're right. It was
quarterbacks there.
It was a weird year, but here's what I'm going to say, Det fan man, and to everybody out there: if you can establish the run with Goff at the helm, he will be successful. Period. You put Goff in a situation where if the run can be established early, holy smokes, all of a sudden the play action, he's able to fake and constantly finding his guys. Establish the run, Goff will find success.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you see, like, once you guys progress through rebuild and start becoming like, a real, not to say that you guys, obviously you guys compete every stinking game, but
not every
I'm
game.
Saying like a lot of games which you shouldn't, you compete in the ones you shouldn't win.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but like once you guys are in playoff contenders and stuff like that, like, do you see, like, with a timeline and stuff like that, do you see Goff being that guy, or do you guys think that you're going to be either having to draft or find a dude, or what do you think?
No, you ask a good question.
What do you want?
What do I want? Honestly, I want Goff to be the dude. Okay. I want him to stick it to LA. I want him to stick it to LA, to the NFL, to every media journalist out there. I want him to ride high with middle fingers and be like, y'all wrote me off. And then Matt Stafford goes to LA, wins a Super Bowl. Couldn't do it here for 12 years. I want Goff to do it more than anything. I would hate for Goff to not get the opportunity. Yeah. Right? Even if Goff wins one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You go.
No, I was gonna say if Goff wins
playoff, right?
One playoff game,
better than Stafford.
If he,
I love that.
Dan, if Goff can win us the division, better than Stafford in Detroit. Period. Done.
That's wild.
I don't care. No. That's where I stand. If he could do it, because, and don't get me wrong, Stafford had it hard. There were years he had no run game. There were so many things that were wrong. However,
good players he played with.
He had some studs, and I look at it, and if Goff, I want him to get it done. I want him to get it done for his own personal chutzpah, but I think for the Lions fans everywhere to be like, oh, this is nice. Like we got a quarterback who can get it done. Meanwhile, we thought we always had a quarterback who can get it done. And what was the real problem? I don't know. But that's where you got questions like this guy, Nick, coming in again, my guy. Goff is the best bridge QB, and it's tough because
the other side. But that's perspective on longevity of how long you think the rebuild's going to take. Because, like, realistically, Correct. How long is Goff a good QB in the NFL?
I honestly 3 years more max if he can't get it done here and now.
No, he's either a backup or he's retiring. Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, so 3 years, and, like, if you guys can build around him properly, so that's your perspective. Him being a bridge is like, yeah, you know what? Playoffs, like, real being contender in the league's probably a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, realistically, as long as you have positive trajectory forward every year, then, like, even if it's not in win rating, if it's in team building and your staff is getting better, and you have to have the overall perspective. You can't look at the freaking stat.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
how many? The big talk was, well, Goff has never won a game without McVay. Well, he just won 3 with Dan Campbell at the end of the year, so that's progress.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just hard. It's like that was like the Bills record this year was not what anybody thought it would be. We lost to the stinking Jags. Like,
Lost to
we
Pittsburgh right off the bat.
yeah, like we lost some real stinkers, and and like if you look at that record and you look at the team at the end of the year, like the team that went against the Chiefs was not the team that went against the Jags.
No.
And so you have to look at the whole picture a lot of the teams, and like you can't just say like, oh yeah, we were whatever. Like, how many wins did you guys get this year?
We were
4? 3. Yeah,
3.
But you picked up players in the draft. You got, again, good draft capital. So you're ready to get more. And you hit on your draft. Like,
yes,
that's huge.
It's huge. It's everything. That's what is so amazing.
In the first year.
In the first year. Yeah, like a good
lot
draft.
Of people like, they'll develop and like.
All of a sudden, they're all starters. Lee McNeil owns Levi owns Enrique's out there. You've got Penei Sewell. That's 3 guys that were starting all the time. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the year, we start transitioning, adding Derek Barnes as a linebacker in more and more. And we started taking out some of the veterans and putting them to the side and allowing these young guys to get looks early and then become starters by the end. And dude, it's crazy. Like, Jeff Okudah. Here's a name that you got all these people labeling bust. And I personally don't think it's fair due to the amount of injuries. First of all, due to his first year coming in, no preseason.
3 years.
What was that?
3 years.
Yeah. This is
you need 3 years for not most positions. A lot of positions you need 3 years. Some positions out the gate you can kind of call it. But.
I agree, and I think if you come out and you're a god, it's phenomenal. But for him, he came in with COVID year. Matt Patricia sucked. The defensive coordinator Corey Unlin was terrible. There were so many problems. He had a hurt groin. It was a bad year. Okay, second year he gets injured. Week 1 tears his ACL against San Francisco. Boom, done. The guy's literally rolling into basically a rookie year in his third year. It's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. I'm actually curious about Robinson. There's a lot of QB draft talk and stuff like that. I like Robinson's touch there. If this team makes great strides this year, does it make sense to let Goff go and trust a rookie QB to win the division?
Bingo.
For me, if you guys take, like, I don't even know if you let Goff go. I feel like you got to keep him in the room unless you bring in a Mitch or some old head to come. Like, the whole, like, bring in a rookie and just throw. Dude, no, he's going to Buff. But you'd like to. That's who I want as our backup. You guys can have Mitch. Give me Fitzpatrick.
You need Fitzpatrick. He was a current quarterback at your playoff game, no shirt, screaming in the
no
stands.
Shirt. Yeah, and then I don't have to restitch my jersey.
True.
But yeah, you got to think, like, the whole idea of just getting a rook out of the gate and just throwing him to the wild, like, it is an act of desperation. Look who was doing that this year. You got the Jets, you got the Pats, you got Trey Lance wasn't.
You had Justin Fields. He ended up getting thrown in there,
but he wasn't right out the gate.
Not out the gates. They had Dalton.
So, like, if you drop Goff, who, you're gonna have Boyle out there to, like, warm the water for your rookie stud wide receiver or quarterback?
No, this is what's interesting is I'm like, obviously during the Senior Bowl, they seemed pretty interesting. Our staff seemed pretty interested in Malik Willis.
Okay.
And Malik Willis, I put out a video. It was funny. I put out a video all about him, and I found myself at the end of it, after I hit publish, I played devil's advocate so hard throughout it that I never really said what I thought. And then at the end, everybody was like, "Oh my god, like, why do you want him? Why do you want him?" Yeah, well, no, everybody was like, "Why do you want him?" And I was like,
"Oh, okay."
I was like, "Oh, you know what? I actually don't want Malik Willis. I just did a terrible job." Because throughout the video,
I was fighting my own feelings.
Literally. Because like I was like, you know what? He's got a big arm. He's mobile. He's kind of like Josh Allen in these areas. So
it's not a great year for a quarterback.
No, it's a terrible year.
It's not. And you know what? I think I actually feel bad for the couple guys that actually do look pretty good coming out. I think they're probably not going to get the draft pick they want to get, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if there's no QB pick first 10. Actually, I haven't looked at what the draft positioning is.
I would actually agree. I think who needs a QB in the top 10 now that I'm
trying to
thinking
see
about
this.
it.
You got Jags, no. Lions, no. Texans. They announced Mills.
But it sounds
Jets,
like
no. Giants, no. Panthers, maybe Panthers.
maybe. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't think about that one.
Then you got Giants again, Falcons, Broncos, Jets. So it probably is. It probably because I don't know. I think they said they're using Mills, so I don't know about the Texans, but I mean that.
Oh, actually, Dan, do you mind holding down the fort real quick? I forgot I have to take my meds real quick.
Oh, you got your meds? Yeah, go for it, dude. Man, I don't know enough about Lions to talk to you guys. I apologize. This guy's leaving me in the lurch. Let's see. What do we got? Something that I can actually talk to you about? Could be first 20, honestly. 20, yeah. Yeah, honestly, as far as free agency goes, it's very interesting about like where you're gonna spend it and how much. Because realistically, where you guys are at in a rebuild, it seems kind of nonsense to, like we were saying earlier, to dump a bunch of money into free agency and then not really know where the rebuild's going. Because like you guys have so much draft capital, and like you have to be, in my opinion, you have to be banking on those hitting. Like if you start thinking that you need to make all your decisions via free agency, like yes, fix your holes, get your assistants where you need to. And that's where you look at like a DJ Chark or somebody coming in. That'd be great to just give Goff another weapon. But if you start focusing so heavily on free agency and dumping all this cash out there, like you're banking on your rookies not hitting, or else then you're going to have to cut people later. I don't know. It just seems like a not forward thinking. That's a very much like you see it a lot, and you saw it in the Rams, and it happened to work for them, where they're just going, we need to do everything right now, dump into winning right now. Whereas like if you guys are building for the future, like I feel like you need to be making the long-term decisions, which is drafting and drafting well, which you guys so far.
Yeah.
You hit more than the Bills did last year.
That's true.
Your picks were better, but
Ian, dude, thanks for coming on. You had Wi-Fi on the cruise. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it as always, dude. Yeah. We'll see you here in a bit. And actually,
great forward. Hold on. I was gonna leave the last time he said alone. If you want to go look at coin flip stats for overtime, you can go do that. I don't have to explain it to you if you watch football. But you keep saying that. It's perfectly fine.
Don't let him score in 13 seconds. Oh, Gray. Come on, Gray. Be better. Be better, my man. Oh, it hurts. That hurts. That hurts me.
Yeah.
Should hurt everybody. Nobody. First of all,
reality.
Who the H wanted the Chiefs to win that game? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Even if people didn't like the Bills, everybody was rooting against Patrick Mahomes' brother and wife. So,
yeah. I mean, she sprayed champagne all over the
paupers.
All the audience in front of her. She sprayed champagne. Like, imagine going to a game and being like, "What is on my?"
Yeah. Why am I getting?
Patrick. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm sticky.
Yeah.
28-3. Yeah. That's Well, the
Penultimate. Thanks for popping in. I thought I saw somebody ask me if I could grab one free agent this offseason. You know what? It's a great question. It's really tough. You kind of look at our needs. We have a lot of needs in the secondary, personally. That's why we have so much, Tracy Walker, Marcus Williams, what do we do? Wide receiver-wise, I would like to make a move, but not a big splash, which is why I'm interested in Zay Jones. Zay Jones is somebody that I'm interested in, and I think could be an asset here. He's not a wide receiver one. He's not, but we can't afford wide receiver one money at the moment. He played in Buffalo for a little bit. I don't know if you have any, thoughts regarding Zay Jones and his production. I was looking at his stats. It's kind of interesting. He's kind of had like a, up and down. He's with Vegas last year.
Yeah, I mean, realistically with us, I think, again, that was them looking down the road. Guy's going to need to get paid. They're working through his rookie contract, and you kind of look and you see, okay, who do we have right now, and who are we working with, and what's this team going to be? And you don't know if you have Josh Allen yet. Obviously, they brought Diggs in, but like our wide receiver room has been really full. It's getting a little older now, but it was really full, and I think he was just more of a like, you didn't make the cut, there. Because I mean, you see him 2017, 2018, 2017 as a rookie, he only had like 300 yards. But I mean, his average yard is good. Like I don't know. I think it's also about usage. Like I didn't watch a lot of Raider stuff, but his completion percentage is really good. And yeah, I don't watch enough Raiders football to know all, because when you do watch it, it's all what's his name? Forget the
Derek Carr?
dude. No, the wide receiver. I forget his name. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter because they're going to be in. Are they in the Super Bowl this year? Is that where the Super Bowl is being held? So I guess Las Vegas goes to the Super Bowl, right? Is that the new thing that we're doing?
They have to, right?
Yeah. I think that's the new. Keep the money up, keep the market going.
Levi Wallace is on free agency this year. If you're
is he?
It's a lot of pain over in the Bills right now because he deserves a paycheck from the way he played this year.
You know what? I was thinking about this. How weird it's got to be. Like right now, I was listening to, I think what's his name, Emmanuel Sanders. He went on Colin Cowherd's show right before you guys played Kansas City, and he basically was talking about like what a joy it is being in Buffalo. And I guess he looked at Stephon Diggs and was like, money's great, but listen, man, make what you got to make, but there's nothing better than having a QB who can throw to you. So
yeah, I mean, that's cool for him. He was able to see it at the end. Diggs needs to get paid again too, but
yeah,
I mean that's the thing is, I mean, we had Isaiah McKenzie came back and he got a pretty minute. He played the field a little bit, but he took the money in Buffalo, and they said, how do you feel about your contract? And he said, I'd be paid in candy to play in Buffalo. I was like, I like that one.
Straight up. Good one. 100%. Xander Shea, you think the Lions go after Juju Smith? Absolutely not, and I don't want him. He is a diva, and I do. Here's the thing: our coaching staff probably
ain't built like a lion.
He's not a. He ain't built like a lion. There's no way, especially if Hard Knocks comes here, they'd be like, "All right, just get rid of him now." like we don't want that. We don't want that.
Oh, jeez, yo, Gray Ford. This guy's funny.
Gray Ford.
Home teams from ever playing at the Super Bowl. Ford Field will be the permanent location.
Gray, you're killing me, dude.
That's brutal.
That's brutal. That's so brutal.
You don't have a dome, though, right? So it's okay?
Nah, no, we do have a dome.
Oh, you do have a dome?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, because I'm coming up next year.
Yeah, you are. Going to be a good day. We're going to go see Bills Lions in Detroit. So everybody out there, come to the game. It'll be a great time. You'll see us. Dan will be there. My brother. It's going to be a whole slew.
We'll bring a crew. Yeah,
whole slew of people. Andrea might come. Who knows? Could be a good time.
Oh, we would con Megan and Jess to come out.
Get Mikey B out here. Chrome calling it cut flowers and sign Harold Landry. Harold Landry, not sure about that one. That's I got to check how much he's worth right now. Cut flowers, absolutely. I
feel like he's so like money. Why is he such a hot name?
Trey Flowers, because
he get like overpaid and not perform.
Yeah, yep. He was a New England Patriot. Patricia.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, and he just hasn't been. He was a $90 million sign, I believe. It was disgusting. What? Yeah, I mean, over the years, I think it was like.
But still, though.
Oh, yeah, it was dumb. Everybody was sitting there like, so is he gonna win? Like, does he win everything? Is he the quarterback too? Like, no. Yeah, nah. Yeah, Juju's definitely over the budget, and he's just not. He's not MCDC material. You're right.
Ooh. Harold Landry, 17.1.
No. Did Trey Flowers get overpaid and underperform?
Oh boy. Yeah, me, how ignorant I asked. Oh, do you think that? Dude, this what happened?
It was the worst.
More than.
It was the worst. Literally, you were like, I thought you were supposed to save us. I thought you were a savior. Defensively, you were not. Yeah, Trey was the beginning of the end. Oh, Adam, my guy. Welcome, dude. Good to see you in the chat, Adam. He's actually one of the hosts over at Woodward Sports. Everybody, if you don't know it, go check out Woodward Sports. They are phenomenal. They do great work. Hey, I'm doing great. In fact, I owe you a text. I know you texted me recently, and I didn't get back to you, and that's on me, man. So I'll text you.
And if you go to Woodward Sports, you can hear Jay sell his soul to Jared Goff.
True. That happened. That absolutely happened. Adam, I'm going to get you on the show here sometime soon. Would love to get some of your thoughts regarding free agency.
Don't check me out. Dude, I'm checking you out right now. Oh, sorry, what?
Let's see. Thunder. I don't know what to do with the X there, but I'm going to go with it. Hot take.
Xander.
Zay Jones was playing like a wide receiver 1 in Las Vegas. Hey, man, I love Zay Jones. I think Zay Jones would be a phenomenal pickup here in Detroit. I would love to get him in here, especially just looking at how much he's worth and what we could use in the wide receiver room. Again, we can't make a big splash. Why not bring in somebody who's just going to help elevate while we can? You bring him in. We draft a couple, 1-2 receivers this year. I mean, I trust the process. Trust what we got going here.
Hunter Renfrow, that's the dude I was thinking about.
Oh, we got a lot of love going in here. Going for Woodward Sports. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. We're not worthy of the greatest hair at Woodward Sports. Does have great hair. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I think the Lions just have so much potential. Adam, you considering a QB at number 2 or 32? I am not. Personally, no. 2, I don't think there's a quarterback worthy of a number 2 spot. Who is it? Sam Howell? Malik Willis? I mean, pick it.
Give me Goff.
Yeah, give me Goff.
I think I see you guys. I mean, I was very hopeful on your record last year. I got shamed. You and I remember sitting in your home and talking very hopeful. I think you guys still end up with a quasi decent draft pick next year, and if you guys start seeing somebody who's a stud come out and you want to fight for him, you trade up for it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Who's here now that you're going to play in the next 3 years over Goff?
Right. No, I don't think anybody. Not at 2, maybe at 32 if Brad Holmes, the scout talent that he is able to look and be like, hey, this is the guy. Like, I look at Lamar Jackson. I think there's a lot of potential there. We've seen what he can do, and there's been the problems, the injuries that we've kind of watched. But all in all, I think they got Lamar Jackson at 32.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is you very look at it. I mean, case in point, Tom Brady was what, 6th round? That's everybody's argument, but it's still a reality that we all have to live in. Draft position isn't the end of the world. If the guy wants it hard enough, and
No, I'm with you, man.
Is that this year or not? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's early.
And also, Adam, I'm with you, dude. I think heavy defense focus is great. I think we're able to find a wide receiver somewhere in there, whether it's 4th round, 3rd round, right around there. But I think all in all, I'm all about the trenches. Just everybody knows that when it comes to the draft, I want the trenches. I want to build that out now, because if we can build that out and be set to go, and then you find the sexy pieces to add, like
if you could snag, say, a receiver a little bit under market value guaranteed with some incentives, like say you could get a Chark for like 9-10 with a couple mil on the back, would you do that?
I'd be very open
somebody
to
else.
Yes.
Right? Like, I feel like he needs
somebody else.
Another thing out there.
Yeah, because everybody's just double teaming, whether it's Hawkinson. I don't know how they're going to handle, Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. I don't know if he can replicate what he did last year, just because of how much he was seeing the ball in the back half, because we had no other wide receivers. But yeah, you're right.
There's also that idea, which happened even on our end, where like defenses played as different this year than they did the year before, because they said, oh, we know how you play. Now we got a whole year of tape on you.
Correct.
They got a year of tape on, or close to a year of tape on Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they're going to play you different.
See, and this is what's tough, though. Even like Adam, again, you're bringing in all the good stuff right now. Hutchinson is the play. I agree with you. I said that in my video, and I got a lot of people that were coming at me saying, give me Hamilton, safety from Notre Dame. And I'm like, listen, Hamilton is phenomenal. I'm not disagreeing. I want to put pressure on the quarterback like none else.
It starts up front.
It always starts up front.
Because if they have all the time in the world, they'll throw it no matter how many guys you got back.
Correct.
There. Like,
correct. They could drop back and whip the ball, and I'm like, I want the pressure
you can
on the
see
quarterback.
It in the Bills game against the Chiefs when they played prevent defense and gave Mahomes however much time he wanted, then he threw.
Wow. Wait, you know what? You put yourself there, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, no, Gray's bringing me there.
Yeah, man. I want Hutchinson. That's where I land. I think, Adam, you're right. He fits the culture. I mean, we know that's what Dan Campbell, we know that's what Brad Holmes want. They want somebody who fits the culture of the nitty-gritty, integrity-based individuals who want it more than anything. It's Hutchinson, and I think it's Hutchinson it too.
I mean, that's the thing is if you can get to a place of defense where you can stop the run effectively at the line and you can pressure the QB, and obviously those are two wildly different talent points, but like teams figure out how to do it. That amplifies your defense so much where you can have par to subpar play in the back end. Because, yeah, maybe they'll get a shot here or there, but majority of the time is quarterback's getting run down and the running back's got a wall in front of them.
Yeah. And I think we're also forgetting, a lot of Lions fans are forgetting some of the injured players. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Jeff Okudah, who's going to come back. Mm-hmm. I think also...
When he even played hurt a ton of the time, too.
He did. And in his first season, he played hurt a bunch. I mean, Romeo Okwara comes back, excuse me, from, I think he had the ACL early. I believe it was ACL. It was just a lot of injuries.
Love it,
Adam, I bet 200 on the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Hey, man, it's a great bet. It's got to happen.
I lost some money on that preseason, too. It was good odds.
Yeah.
I got...
Sorry. Yeah, so here we are. We're seeing Hamilton. You know, I think Hamilton's great. I do. I want the pressure up front. I want to hit the quarterback. I'm tired of watching the quarterbacks in the pocket just stand there all day on Detroit Lions defense. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like even like Bills grab they had a good defensive line already built up before they grabbed Trey from as a corner.
Yeah.
And then their line lacked and they went edge last year. Edge O-line last year. First three, like
you guys got Gregory Rousseau, right?
Rousseau, Basham, and freaking Mountain. Our O-line dude's like 6'8" and like 300 pounds. But like, because they said, okay, we need to revisit this and they still got beat on the run all year, but whatever. But they still you got to revisit those things and look and say, okay, like where are we getting beat? And QB, half of it's getting beat up front and half of it's getting beat through the air. But like, if you can't, if your front can also double up defending the run, that's a 2-for-1 special. Like,
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Look, I feel like I've kept you too long. It's after 8:00. Should probably.
Yeah, I gotta eat some food.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you too long from your wife. So I do want to thank everybody for coming out to this live stream that became the second live stream. Because
yes, the second edition.
Everything went wrong, but you know what? We're learning. We're figuring it out. So I do want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out, for dropping your thoughts in the comments, for liking the stream, for doing everything that you do to make this channel what it is. God bless you. Dan, thanks for hanging out. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you on again. Maybe we'll start making this a little bit more regular.
Why the heck not?
I don't know why not.
And you know what? And my final sentiments are let's go Lions.
Go Bills. Woo! All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll catch you again.